So in my last video, I was sharing with you the experiments that I got going on in here. And this whole endeavor has exceeded my expectations by far. And really, that's an understatement. It's absolutely nuts. We were really hoping for a good cucumber crop. Fresh cucumbers and fresh green beans are like our favorite part of the garden. When we don't have them, we really miss them. And the cucumbers you buy in the store, just, they're not the same. So we're hoping for a good cucumber crop. Now, as I told you in my other video, we had really bad results growing our cucumbers outside last year. We would get rain and the plants would look like they got hit with Roundup, and we lost a lot of our cucumber plants, and it was just horrible, and we didn't have a good crop. So this year I decided I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try and grow some in here, see what happens, and I've shown you what is happening. It is nuts in here. I've actually gotten to the point where I am pruning back some of the cucumber vine because it's just nuts. Now we have picked 122 cucumbers already, and if I pick what's pickable today, we'll be around the 140 mark. We've been giving them away like crazy. It's just awesome. Just nuts. So also I showed you that I was experimenting with one of my butternuts. They weren't looking good outside. I put one in here, and right away it went through just like 3 or 4 days of kind of transplant shock, and then it just took off. And when I showed you last, it was approaching the rafters. Well, now it's reached the rafters, and it's about 4 foot in that direction growing up here. So let me show you what's going on in here. Some of you had asked if I could do a time-lapse thing. Well, I'm not kind of set up for that, but you'll just see the growth from video to video because I love sharing this. This is insane in here. So this is the butternut, okay? Remember, there was a tiny little butternut squash down there. Look at the size of that now. I got another nice one here. But this is kind of baffling me. I got something weird going on here. Normally, with any of my squash plants, you would have the first squash that would grow about that big, and then they would cull. Sometimes they're even a little bit bigger, and they would cull. And I always assumed that was because the flower didn't get pollinated. But here I have tons of little butternuts, about that long, and they have a flower, but then the butternut will cull without the flower ever opening. So how would it ever get pollinated without it opening? I've never seen anything like this. And I don't know if it's just something funky because I'm growing it indoors. Normally, butternuts just sprawl all over the ground. I have never tried to grow them upward. These I've got going up a rope, and now they're crossing over. But I'm going to keep experimenting, and I'll keep sharing my observations with you because some things work out really good and others don't. And you can learn from my experiences and know what to do and what not to do. But I'll show you what's going on with this. See that little squash right there? Right there, a little squash. And it's got a flower. There's another tiny squash there. They'll get to a little bit bigger than this, and then they die, and they fall off, and the flower never even opens. So it has no chance of pollinating. I've never seen squash plants do that, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it just doesn't like being indoors. Okay, let's look at these cukes. Unbelievable. I mean, these cukes, oh my God. One day we picked 28, and then another day we picked 38, or I think 38. And right now there's got to be, I don't know, 12 to 15 that are ready to pick. Look at this. Look at the cucumbers, cucumbers, cucumbers. Look at the cucumbers, right? Let's look over here. Look at the cukes. Look at the cucumbers hanging down. Look at the cucumbers hanging down. It's like Christmas ornaments. Look at them. Let's go on the other side. Look at the cukes. Look at all the freaking cucumbers. There's more than I thought that I have to pick. And I noticed one earlier this morning that got missed, and now it looks like a cuisine. Look at that monster cucumber. That's like a zucchini, all right? So we got 2 there, 3. That's another monster there. Isn't that one there? There's another one there. Look at this. Look at that. Freaking monster there. Another one there. Look at the cucumbers. Look at them. Well, we grow a lot of tomatoes. We always have. I can eat Italian food every day of the week. So Mama cans a lot of the tomatoes that we grow. All right? And normally we grow quite a mixture of heirloom varieties and your more common varieties and hybrids. Like we grow Black Krim, Brandywine, Amish Pace, San Marzanos. And then your more common ones like beefsteak and Better Boy, Best Boy kind of thing. This year I only planted 2 varieties. Because what I was finding was with all of the funky things that's in the rain now, there's a lot of chemicals and toxins in the rain, all the changes, you know, with the tactics used to combat global warming, and all the funky stuff that was going on, I was finding some very strange and disheartening things happening in my garden. But last year, the heirloom varieties were really struggling, turning yellow, just looking lousy, and a lot of my friends have experienced that. But these 2 varieties, the Super Beefsteak and the Sandwich Slicer, did very, very well. They stayed green, they looked good, and they put out a lot of tomatoes, okay? These Sandwich Slicers make big tomatoes. 1 slice on a BLT, and it's just wonderful. So I planted, well, I thought I was planting these 2 varieties. And I say that because these are the only ones that I bought. But it ain't the only ones that I got. Let me show you. Now the tomato plants out here, as I showed you, are doing great. They're just lush, the color's good, and they are full of tomatoes. That one's starting to get some blush color to it. But there's tomatoes everywhere. Lots and lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. These look like they're supposed to. Both the Super Beefsteak and the Sandwich Slicer look like this. Big, fat, round tomatoes. See? Nice, fat, round tomatoes. Got a few more turning color there. Okay? Look at that one. Oh, we got one almost ready to pick. Okay? But you see, they're regular shaped tomatoes. Nothing funky going on here. And then all of these are supposed to look the same as that. Big round tomatoes. And they are not. They are pear-shaped and wrinkled. I don't know, you call that fluted? I don't know what the look is. I mean, these may be great tasting tomatoes. I don't really know. But it's not what I wanted. They start out pear-shaped like that, and then they get kind of funky. There's a lot of tomatoes on the vine, but they're not real big, and maybe they will get there. I don't know, but they don't seem to be changing. See? They're really strange. In a video that I posted a while ago, I showed you this relic that I found out in the woods. It's heavy iron, and I figured that it was the hub to a wheel of some sort of steam-powered machinery from back in the day. There was some old piping there, and that's why I thought maybe it was from steam-powered. Maybe it was just from some old piece of farm machinery and not a sawmill. I was thinking probably a sawmill. But I showed it to you, and I asked you guys to identify it. Lots and lots and lots of people said that this was just the hub to an old wagon, wagon wheel. So I looked up wagon wheel hubs, and I found a zillion hubs that look just like this, some taller, okay, wider rather. but this part was all made out of wood. Now I knew that spokes came in here. At least I figured spokes came out of here. Like on the wagon wheels, the spokes were shaved down to being square, and they fit in these slots real tight and then radiated out from there. So it wasn't the hub from a regular wagon wheel. And because it's made out of iron, it was from some sort of machinery. So kind of narrowed it down that my first thought process on this was in the right direction, that this was the hub to a wheel of machinery, and it might have been steam powered. So that's where we went with that. So I got another one for you. This just came into my life recently. It's a drill bit, okay? It's like any other wood auger, but it's about 4.5 feet long. I've never seen anything like it. So does anybody know where this originated, what it was used for? Now don't tell me that it was just used for drilling deep holes, because I can figure that out on my own. But I've been in the construction trade for most of my life, and I have never seen anything like it. Now when we were building log homes, we would use a drill bit because we would run the, like if you came in the building and you wanted to flip the switch is up, you know, at waist high, and we didn't want wires along the face of the log. They were drilled down through. But I have never seen anything like this. So if anybody knows what this was used for, aside from drilling deep holes, what profession, just where does it come from? Have you ever seen anything like it? Let me know. And then the next time I find something that I don't know about, you can help me out with, and we can figure these things out.
Oh, the boss man's in the corn. How's it looking?
It looks good. There's some real fat ears in here. There's a moment of truth right here. Oh. Oh, look.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Let's have some for supper tonight.
Yeah. That and those little steaks.
Yeah.
Check this one. This one's a little smaller. I got it from a different part of the patch. Oh,
looks good.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. We got quite a crop here. Abundance.
Garden's done fabulous.
Yes.
All thanks to you.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.